and ready for our class. Can you remember what we have learned in our last class? Can you remember which unit we are learning now? Yeah, very good. It's elements, compounds and mixtures. In elements, compounds and mixtures, first what we have learned? We have learned about matter, composition of matter. Next, representation. That is combination. What the matter is composed of. Atoms, molecules. Next class we learned about the classification of matter. Matter is classified into two types. Pure substance, mixture or mixed substance. Pure substance is further classified into two types. Elements and compounds. Mixture or mixed substance is classified into two types. Homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. Next class we learned about what is pure substance. Then what is an element? Last class we have learned about what is an element. We have understood some introduction about element. What is an element? Element is a pure substance made of same type of atoms. Example for element: hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, etc. Then what else we have learned? Abundantly present elements. For example, hydrogen and helium are abundantly present in the universe and it is responsible for light energy from the sun. Like this we have learned some abundantly present elements. Finally, we have completed in types of elements. What are the types of elements? How many types of elements we have learned? Yeah, 4 types of elements. What are they? Metals, non-metals, metalloids, inert gases or noble gases. In today's class, we are going to learn about this properties of these 4 types of elements. The first one is metal. How many of you have heard this word metals? Have you ever heard this word metal? How a metal look like? What is the relation between this element and metal? Metal is a type of element. Now we can learn what is metal. Usually metals are hard solids. It will be solid in nature at room temperature. Solids like, for example, iron. Examples, we know that totally 118 elements we have, out of which 92 are natural and 26 are man-made. Among this 118 known elements, most of the elements are metals. Most of the elements come under metals. Some of the examples are iron, silver, gold, mercury, calcium, etc. Now, this metals generally occurs as solids in nature. The properties of some metals are given. They are, first point is, they are hard at room temperature. There are 2 exceptions. For example, sodium, it's a metal, but it is not that much hard. We can cut this sodium with knife. One more, mercury is another metal. This mercury is in the form of liquid. So, generally the metals are very thick solids. Exceptions are sodium and mercury. They are not much hard as other metals. Next point is, they have high boiling and melting point. For example, consider tungsten has its boiling point 3422 degrees Celsius. Its boiling point is 3422 degrees Celsius. Only at this point it will boil. Another one, mercury has the lowest boiling point among the metals. Tungsten has the highest boiling point among the metals, and mercury has the lowest boiling point among all the metals. What is the boiling point of mercury? Minus 39 degrees Celsius. So, metals are solid in nature and they have high melting and boiling points. The next point is they are lustrous. Have you ever heard this word lustrous? What is the meaning of this lustrous? Shiny. That is, when you consider a metal, its surface will be, when you look at a metal, it will shine. It will be in shining nature. That is called lustrous. Next one is ductile in nature. Metals are ductile in nature. Ductile means we can stretch these metals to form thin wires. Consider a metal is in some shape. You can stretch that into thin wires. So, it is ductile in nature. Next one is malleable in nature. Malleable means beaten into sheets. What is beaten into sheets? Consider silver you have. Silver you have as a, in what shape? Like stone you have silver. You can compress or beat this silver into sheets. So, it is malleable in nature. Malleable means it can be made as sheets. Metals can be made as sheets. Next one is they are sonorous in nature. Sonorous means when you beat something with this metal, it will make some ringing sound. Consider you have iron rod. You take that iron rod and beat some metals. What we can hear? We can hear some bell ringing voice, right? So they are sonorous in nature. And the last one is they are good conductors of heat and electricity. The metals conduct both heat and electricity. Exception, only this tungsten. Among the metals, this tungsten is the very poor conductor of electricity. So, clear about what is metals? Metals are solid in nature. Exceptions, sodium is not that much hard. It can be cut with knife. And one more, it is mercury is liquid in nature. And these metals have high boiling and melting points. For example, tungsten has the highest boiling point, that is 3422 degrees Celsius, and this mercury has lowest boiling point, that is 39 degrees Celsius. And these metals are lustrous, ductile, malleable, sonorous in nature, and they are the good conductors of heat and electricity. Tungsten is the exception for that. Among the metals, tungsten is the bad conductor of heat and electricity. Clear about what is metals? The next one is non-metals. From the name itself, you can say non-metals are opposite of metals. We have learned that metals occurs in solid state. Here, non-metals occurs in solid, liquid and gaseous state. Some of the examples of non-metals are given. What are they? Hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, bromine and iodine. Among this hydrogen and oxygen are in gaseous state. These are non-metals. They occur in gaseous state. Carbon and nitrogen occurs in solid state, and this bromine occurs in liquid state. So, non-metals occurs in solid, liquid or gaseous state. Also, this carbon occurs in nature as this diamond and soft soot. Carbon occurs in solid, and this carbon takes many forms. Some of the examples are, it occurs as diamond, or this soft source. The next property is we have learned that metals have high boiling and melting point. Here non-metals has low boiling and melting point except diamond and graphite. Diamond and graphite are non-metals which has high boiling and melting point. Generally non-metals has very low boiling and melting point. Only this diamond and graphite has high boiling and melting point. Next is the metals are lustrous. Here the non-metals are non-lustrous, non-ductile, non-malleable and non-sonorous. This lustrous in nature means shiny. Generally these non-metals are non-lustrous, but graphite and iodine are lustrous. This graphite and iodine has some shining properties. So except this iodine and graphite, all the non-metals are non-lustrous and they are non-ductile. We cannot stretch that, and non-malleable. You cannot make non-metals into sheets. Also, it cannot make the ringing noise. So they are non-sonorous. The last point is metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Here the non-metals are bad conductors of heat and electricity. Exception graphite. Graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Did you understand about non-metals? Non-metals example: hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur, bromine, iodine, etc. Then the properties. First one is non-metals occurs in solid, liquid or gaseous state. Second one, it has low boiling and melting point except diamond and graphite. Third point, non-lustrous except graphite and iodine. They are non-malleable, non-ductile, non-sonorous. Then the last point is they are bad conductors of heat and electricity except graphite. Clear about non-metals? Next is metalloids. We have learned metals, non-metals. What is this metalloids? Metalloids are elements that has properties between metals and non-metals. Consider boiling point. Metals has high boiling point. Non-metals has low boiling point. This metalloids will have the properties in between this metals and non-metals. That is, it won't have high boiling point and it will not have very low boiling point. So these properties of this metalloids will be between this metals and non-metals. Some of the examples of metalloids are given. They are boron, silicon, arsenic, antimony, tellurium, polonium and germanium. These are the examples of metalloids. What are metalloids? Metalloids are elements that has properties between metals and non-metals. Example: boron, silicon, polonium, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium are examples of metalloids. Understand what is metalloids? The last and fourth type of element is inert gases. What are inert gases? From the name, what we can say, these are elements which are in gaseous state. So, these inert gases are elements which occurs in gaseous state. Then the next one is, these gases will never react or undergo chemical change. These gases will not react with other gases, or it won't take part in any chemical reactions. And example for inert gases are helium, neon, argon, krypton xenon and radon. Very important names of these inert gases. I repeat, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. Clear about what is inert gases? They occur in gaseous state and they do not react or undergo any chemical reactions, and the examples are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. There are only 6 inert gases and these gases are present in the air, atmospheric air, in very low quantity. The quantity of this inert gases in air is very low. Clear about inert gases? The other name for inert gases, noble gases. Understand? So, what are the things we have learned in today's class? The 4 types of elements. What are the 4 types of elements? Say. Yeah, metals, non-metals, metalloids and inert gases. Other name for inert gas? Noble gases. What is a metal? Most of the elements present in the world occurs as metal. Example, gold, aluminium, silver, etc. What are the properties of this metal? Generally, metal occurs in solid state, exception sodium and mercury. Sodium we can cut using knife. Mercury occurs in liquid form. Next point, metals has high melting and boiling point. For example, tungsten has its boiling point 3422 degrees Celsius and the lowest one is tungsten has highest and mercury has minus 39 degrees Celsius. Then the other properties are, the metals are lustrous, ductile, malleable, sonorous in nature. Then the last point is, the metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Exception is tungsten, it is a bad conductor. Then the next one is, second type is non-metals. What are non-metals? Example for non-metals, oxygen, hydrogen, carbon. Then these are the examples of non-metals. Non-metals properties, they occur in liquid, solid or gaseous state. They have low boiling and melting point. Then they are non-lustrous, they are non-malleable, non-ductile and non-sonorous. Last point is, they are bad conductors of heat and electricity. Thus we have some exceptions. Then the third one is metalloids. Metalloids occurs, the properties occurs between the metals and non-metals. It doesn't have the properties of metals and it does not have the properties of non-metals. The properties lies between metals and non-metals. Example, what are the examples of metalloids? Boron, silicon, arsenic, antimony, titanium, polonium, etc. Then the last one is inert or noble gases. Inert or noble gases occurs in gaseous state. And the inert gas example, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. Only 6 inert gases we have, and the inert gases occurs in very low quantity in air. Clear about the types of elements? So, in next class we can learn about the representation or symbols of element. These elements we have, many elements, 118 elements we have. How we will represent these elements? We have to represent all these elements using a particular method. How we can name this element, we can see in the next class. Thank you.